Last time I saw you, the moon looked the same. Your hands so cool on my skin. Then it was waxing, but now it wanes. Did that really happen? This road so dark, it's got me hoping for thieves. Singing my way up the coast. I'm a thought, I'm a lark, fill the space in between. Feels like I'm just a ghost. I'm alive and breathing. My heart's still beating. I don't wanna be dreaming. I'm alive and breathing. Minor chord and a hopeful tune. The dust that settles, sweet perfume. I'm just trying to get back to you. You're my flower on the interstate. An easy shot that ricochet. I walk away, but I walk slow.
Me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Perfect, perfect. How are you, Chris?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Chris Angelus, look at you. Look at Chris Angelus. Very beautiful house behind you. Beautiful brick for my audience audio portion that can't see.
Yeah, thanks.
Very, very elegant. That's where creativity is born. Apparently.
Yeah, well, this is my parents' house. I'm up here visiting them, so.
Ah, very nice.
Brick fireplace.
Very nice. How are your parents doing with COVID and all this stuff?
I mean, they when it first hit, they were in Florida visiting my mom's family, and so they just ended up staying there. They have a farm there, so it was kind of this isolated area anyway, you know.
Sure.
And now they're back and they're retired and they're just sort of enjoying their, okay, I guess we're just gonna stay home and like work on the house. So
Perfect. I love
think
it.
they're doing okay.
Good for them. Good for them, Chris. But listen, I have to tell you, one of my life mottos, Chris, is live with passion. Live with passion. Very important. And I have to just congratulate you, Chris, because you are the epitome of living with passion. I have to tell you. The past 2 years, you have been such a different experience for you. I mean, the way you've made a pivot this year, you've adapted. You know, you've adapted to the situation. Such a strong streak of music that you've released this year, even though it was a curveball for you. Yeah. And, you know, so I just wanted to welcome you to the show and thank you for being a beacon of passion for all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you that's such a wonderful thing to say. I'm glad I could be that.
Well, you are, you know, sometimes you don't realize it, but that's exactly what you've been.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome, but it's true. All right, so let's start here, if you don't mind, Chris. Let's start with like your childhood and then kind of move our way forward, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So you grew up you mentioned the farm in Florida. You grew up in Gainesville, Florida, right?
Yeah, outside of Gainesville.
Outside of Gainesville, which is, of course, Tom Petty's hometown. Mm-hmm. Both your parents, who we just talked to, they were in the Air Force. Yep. Why don't you share with us a little bit about, you know, growing up with your twin sister, Alex, and, you know, how your childhood was like over there?
Oh, yeah, it was great. We, you know, ran around on the farm, playing in like the forest, and it was kind of this compound with our house, and then my aunt and uncle also lived on the property, and my grandparents, and so we had a lot of family just sort of all raising us and could just run around to whoever's house whenever we wanted, and it was
so nice.
It was really awesome to have that.
Absolutely. I love it. And you didn't have like a TV, right? Like you were like very outdoorsy.
We had a television, but it only got like one channel, and so mostly it was old, you know, movies, lots of Rodgers and Hammerstein movies that my grandparents had, and
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, especially for you, right? Because your mom is on the record as saying you basically came out of the womb singing. You know. So, yeah. Chris, what are some of your favorite memories? Like, you know, your first memories as a young girl in that farm singing, you know, with music in your heart?
Well, one of must be my earliest memory of singing on that farm was when I was 3 years old. My sister and I made up a song together. I actually still remember the song. And it was about being cold and wanting to go inside where it was warm,
Okay.
which is ironic because we were in Florida, but it gets cold there in northern Florida sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you still remember the song, all right? I won't make you sing it because you're
Okay.
singing for us later. But but that's a classic. I love it. I love it. And of course, your sister was also exposed to the arts, but different than
Mhm.
you. You guys had a tree house, like that was like a big part of you, right? Like just arts
Yeah.
growing around your imagination, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our parents are kind of aren't in the arts. They're a bunch of doctors and, have PhDs and stuff. And but we've always been very into performing and just creating things. We would, put on little festivals that all of our family on the farm had to come to and buy our little artwork, and we would sing for them, and we would make up little plays and
Look at
perform
that.
for them.
Look at that.
So
See, this is why this pandemic has been so easy for you. You just went back to your roots, your
I guess
entrepreneurial business roots. I love it.
totally. I guess
Oh,
so.
Chris, that's great. All right, so there's a time you're growing up and you and your family pack up your bags and you move west. You move to
Hmm.
California. And this must have been the mid 90s because you've mentioned the band Hanson. By the way,
Oh,
go ahead.
yes, go ahead. I'm sorry, the dog is barking.
It's fine. I have a dog. I don't know what mine is doing. He learned to be a good assistant, but I got you.
Yes,
I
I
love,
have
yeah.
yes, I was very inspired by Hanson,
Hmm.
um, seeing as they were, young and siblings, and that's where my sister and I started learning how to harmonize, and just sort
Yeah,
of became this thing where I thought, oh wow, they're doing it. Maybe that's something that I could do, because for whatever reason, as a child growing up, I felt like musicians were these otherworldly creatures that they
right.
just do
Like
that in their
Stevie
music
Nicks, like, yeah.
world. Yeah, and then it sort of dawned on me that that's a possibility for me. So
That's
glad.
awesome. And by the way, I love that album too. So no judgment there. Like I remember, I bought that album. That was one of my first CDs. Must have been.
Which one? Middle of
The one
Nowhere?
with Doom Bop. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, so okay, so you start singing, you start doing this. You eventually you pick up the guitar. With the
Yeah.
guitar, how did you end up in the guitar, Chris? Why not piano? Why not bass? Why not drums? Why what was it the guitar?
Well, my very first instrument that I played was violin,
Ah,
and
nice.
I wanted to do that because one of my best friends in school was doing that, and I just thought it was really beautiful. And I still do. I think violin and strings instruments are just like the crying of music. Like they're just or the joy. They're like
The
a
joy.
it's like a vocal instrument. But why I chose guitar as my main instrument, once I was sort of becoming a singer songwriter, is mainly because I have a friend who gave me one and started
Hmm.
teaching me how to play it, and because it's easier to carry around than a
Sure.
piano.
Yeah,
you know
and
so
cooler.
that's why.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't hurt
I
that
don't
it's
know,
cooler.
piano is really awesome, and I wish I knew how to play it better, but it's harder to carry around.
Yeah, yeah, but the violin, it's like lately. I mean, we've had some guests. They're playing Nirvana now with it. Like it's not. It's evolving, isn't it?
It's awesome. No, strings are the violin, all of those stringed instruments, cello, viola, are just badass instruments, especially if you can play them. Like the fiddle is always what I
Yeah.
wanted. I was in youth orchestras, classical music, but I really wanted to play the fiddle.
Yeah. All right. We'll get there on your next era, Chris.
Yeah.
But let's jump to your music a little bit. Before jumping to your new singles, I want to talk about The Left Atrium. It came out 7 years ago. Incredible album, Chris. I mean, songs like Not Your Fault and Cut to the Chase. I mean, they sound so fresh still. They sound
Thanks.
amazing. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's awesome.
they definitely do. And this album got you in the radar of critics for sure.
Yeah.
How do you look back on this album? Do you listen to it at all, or is it like something like you don't really listen to it?
Oh gosh. I mean, I still play the songs, some of them,
Sure.
because I do a lot of performing when I was on the road last year, all year, and I do a lot of live stream performances. So I still definitely play the songs. I don't
Yeah.
listen to the album that much,
Yeah.
just because it doesn't
Is it like
come
weird for
up.
you? Yeah. Is it just like,
I mean, it's always kind of
mhm,
interesting looking back and listening, and because you hopefully do improve throughout the years. And I'm like, ooh, you're your own worst critic. So, but But no, it's fun. And actually, going back specifically to Not Your Fault, I really like how that one was produced. And I was very involved in creating all the little like staccato and
Yeah.
moments with the strings. And so I really do enjoy it. I actually listened to it somewhat recently and was like, oh, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. I mean, I love when artists do. I think Jim Carrey, the actor, he doesn't see his movies. He's never seen some of his movies, so that's
Ah.
always interesting to me.
Well,
You know?
that's interesting because as an actor, you can do that because you go on set and you do your part, and then that's done. You did your job. You don't have to do anything else. I create all of my stuff from scratch through the end, like
Right.
pre-production, post-production. Like I couldn't not listen to my music unless I just decided that you know, I was like, hey, producer, here's the song. I'm going to sing it. And then like, you take care of everything else.
Right.
But I don't want to do that. I like being involved.
Yeah, of course, you want to have your vision come to fruition. Of course,
Exactly.
of course. Okay, so January 24th of this year, big day for you. It was because I know you forgot. You're like you look like January 24th. That's pre-COVID.
I thought you were talking about this coming one.
No, pre-COVID, before the end of the world. You know,
yes.
That Siren Hope came up.
Yes.
I know it seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was this year.
Yeah. Amazing.
But of course, that first single, that Siren Hope, it's so good. It really spoke to me too. I mean, it's about hope. It can be a little dangerous. We keep falling back on it. You know, Chris, what is it about? Because we can all relate to this. This is a universal theme. What is it about love and heartbreak and opening ourselves and, that we just keep coming back to it? Why? What is it?
Oh, gosh. That's such a perfect question for that song because it is, in the bridge, it goes back into, even though I'm like, oh, you're a siren, your hope is dangerous and bad. It's obviously not how I really feel. And throughout it, I come to the conclusion that even if the siren's going to be singing about love or, whatever, those passions, I'm still going to keep dancing to it. So, why do we do that? I think it's just because it's what makes us human.
Yeah.
Being able to love and go after what we want
sure
is a very human. It's the core of what the purpose of life is.
Yeah, there you go. Very philosophical. Look at Chris, philosophical. I love it. No, I love it. And okay, you have a new single coming out, right? A Christmas single?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, in the same vein of calling hope
I know
evil siren.
By the way, I promised to my audience that Chris, she's got a lot of happy songs. This is not Alanis Morissette everything. Like, no.
I have been compared to Alanis Morissette a lot, and that's not a bad thing. But yeah, the thing is, I use songs to get out these feelings. So
sure.
A lot of them are sad or frustrated or whatever, and a song is an emotion. It's a moment in time. It's a specific emotion. It doesn't have to be well adjusted. It's not the whole story. And
True.
So anyway, this song, the new one, is called Maybe Let's Not Do Christmas This Year. And I think that can still be somewhat relatable, because especially this year, because we've all been through so much,
right.
and there are a lot of things about the holidays any year that can be kind of stressful, if you don't get along with your family, or you have financial burdens, or you are newly single or something and you don't want to see everyone getting engaged like on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just like kind of bummed because you don't get to hang out with your friends this year or whatever it is, and you just don't, if you are having a feeling of overwhelm and just like, I don't know, I don't think my heart could take it. Let's just get to 2021.
Yeah, I can't do the whole Hallmark movie festival this year. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's really about just commiserating with anyone who has even felt a little bit of that. Because I will also say I'm putting out this song, but I'm also all about like, I'm wearing my little red onesie and drinking hot chocolate and watching, the Santa Claus or something. So it ebbs and flows, but it's all about just making it what works for you.
Sure. Absolutely, Chris. Yeah, Christmas brings that in people. Absolutely. Okay, I have to ask you about this because this is fascinating. You are a relentless, touring artist, and last year you toured the entire, like all 50 states in the country.
I did, yeah.
I mean, so many questions about this. First of all, where did the idea come from? How was it? How long did it take? The whole thing.
Okay. I had been on tour before, and I hadn't been to every state. I knew that, but I wanted to. I knew that I wanted to have performed in every state. And I figured, hey, the best way to do that is to just make sure, like, perform in every state. Like, make a tour where I start from scratch and just do it all. And I had just gotten out of a relationship and was feeling pretty heartbroken, as you can tell from my last album. And I just wanted to get away and sort of distract myself and have a project. And so I decided to embark on that journey. And it from the first state to the last state, I think it took around 6 months.
Nice.
And I was kind of building the plane as I was flying it. I didn't have it all booked when I started, which was also an adventure.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And what did you learn about the country that you didn't know before?
Oh man, it's beautiful. That's one of the things that I learned is, I mean, I knew the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Northern California and have lived
Monterey
in
and all that. Yeah.
All of that is gorgeous, obviously, but I didn't know, there's kind of like quote unquote flyover states that I didn't know are amazingly beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would drive through these areas and just be like in my car by myself weeping at the just beauty.
Nice.
And then also I was really moved by the amazing kindness of the people.
Sure.
I know this is a very kind of crazy, divisive time in our country, but my experience was, because I didn't stay in hotels, I stayed mostly with friends and friends of friends, and I was just always so amazed at the
That's
people
so cool.
that didn't know me. They knew people that knew me, but they didn't know me, and they just welcomed me into their homes and come to my shows, and so that was really awesome.
What a great experience, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's a rumor that you're going to play a song for us. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I listen to rumors all the time, but that one's true.
You listen to rumors all the time. Yeah, exactly. Talking about heartbreak. Oh my God, we're so excited, Chris. Thank you. Thanks for performing for us.
Oh, you're so welcome. This is actually a new song that I put out at the end of September.
Okay.
Called My Quiet. So
it's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not on
It's just a single, right? Yeah.
It's just a single, yeah. But
cool.
There's a chance it might be on the next one.
Well, I think it should. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Sorry, as I'm tuning up.
I love it.
And I'm really excited. When you said January 24th, I went directly to November 24th because that's the day that I'm going to find out whether or not I got nominated for a Grammy.
Oh my God, that's right. Because you are in the shortlist. Oh God. Okay. So we really hope, by the time this airs, it's going to be around that time. So
yeah, awesome.
Listen, Chris, we're manifesting it. You're going to get nominated.
Yay! I'm into it. Yes.
Yes, totally.
Okay, here we go. It's a song called My Quiet. You're my quiet in a crowded room. Storm is rolling off my shoes. Minor chord in a hopeful tune. The dust that settles, a sweet perfume. I'm just trying to get back to you. You're my flower on the interstate. An easy shot that ricocheted. I'll walk away, but I'll walk slow. If I'm honest, I know where to go.
crowded room. Minor chord and hopeful tune. I'm just trying. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to get back to you.
Wow, Chris, unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. You know what? That was amazing. That was amazing. I have to, thank you so much for your time. Next year is going to be the biggest year of your career so far. I'm telling you.
I hope so.
I just know so. I don't know why, but I just feel like it's so culminating. People need this music right now.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course,
Really
good reflex there.
appreciate
Yeah. So, Chris, thank you. Okay, we're gonna edit this part out. We are doing a Thanksgiving, like a montage. If you
Okay.
want to be part of it, we're asking some of our guests, this week's, if you want to say something that you're grateful for,
Oh, yeah.
and we're doing like a little Thanksgiving, like what you're grateful
Yeah.
for, if you wanna be part of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So just say something that I'm grateful
Yeah.
for.
I'm Chris Angelis and blah blah.
Okay. I'm Chris Angelis, and I am so grateful for my wonderful family and friends that are like my family. And I have to include the amazing people who support my music, the ones that I know and don't know and have gotten to know through live stream throughout this year. It's been wonderful.
Perfect. Chris, you're the best. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on everything you've done, and the best is yet to come.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Is it Jaime or Jamie?
Oh, you can do Jaime. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
my grandfather's name. So.
There you go. There you go.
Half Colombian.
Ah, look at that. Colombian blood. We love it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, and it's been an honor, and I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Stay safe.
Bye.